All right, so the question today is, are ProjectSAM's Orchestral Essentials 1 and 2 good libraries? So to answer that question, let's go ahead and dig into some compositions. We'll play it through and then we'll dig into the actual patches. Okay, so the first thing that struck me with this library was sort of the detail and richness. The second thing that struck me was the diversity, right? The breadth of sound. And with these libraries, you're getting all in one sounds, right? You have a whole orchestra, all the things you need to do a mock-up with these libraries. So that can be really handy. The possible downside to that is that you get some patches where things are grouped together. Now, so you don't get maybe the individualized sound, but the thing that really stands out is how good these sound together. You don't need to split them apart. It helps you mock things up faster. So I think as part of your library, it can be a really, really useful tool that sounds great. Digging in and just looking at this, we see the red are Orchestral Essentials 2 libraries, while the green are Orchestral Essentials 1 libraries. Now, what I found in the few scores that I mocked up with this is that 1 really is sort of the core heartbeat. Like if you just have 2 it's great. I mean, don't get me wrong, it can do things by itself, but I think 1 is your foundation and 2 is some good embellishment. So I think that I would recommend both of these libraries. They really work great together. Okay, so again, the thing that stood out to me was sort of the diversity of having these stacks of multiple instruments, and it's sounding really good. So whether that's strings with brass swells, or you have an orchestra with a choir, I mean, it just... Right, highly usable. Even though they're grouped together, they sound good. Having their epic orchestra patch, just these different patches, right, where you get, let's just open up OE1, and we'll go into the full orchestra, and you can see you get action, you get suspense, epic, dark, warm, these grouped together patches. Just have a lot of richness and detail to them, and here we're using it. Right, setting that character and tone. Very beautiful, this brass, these long notes. Looking at some of their sound design aspects. So the patch sound design here, you can see you get a number of things, right? And this patch Sunburn, it's just a lot of texture to that. Here they have some multi-patches, again, highly usable. Let's take a look at that. So you'll see under each one of these libraries has multis where they just have some things loaded up. This one, Dracula Strides, is the patch I loaded. So you can see you get the mod wheel will control a tremolo filter. You have a harpsichord. You have that Sunburn sound design texture. You have a Celesta, and it sounds really good. Creates a vibe. So just that patch on its own, right? A lot of character to it. let's listen to this kind of synth. So really great for a pulsing sound. We get quite a bit of range from low end to high end. Right, so it's like anytime you need that pulsing kind of synth, this has a great usable sound. Again, some percussive effects. So just some of those bowed cymbals and metals. This wooden echo. And you can hear there, this is me actually using some of those effects, right? So I'm using the delay and the Pro filter. We take those off. Put them back in. So really a lot you can do there. The last sort of thing, we have some sound design trailer hits. And that's just reinforcing the New World percussion kit. That drum sound alone is worth the price of admission. I mean, my goodness, really a great sound for, you might think like a small library in a sense, right? Or like, oh, it's a bundle. But a lot of great sounds you can do in OE2. Having the military ensemble, great pairing with those big drums. All right, so in this score, we'll do the same thing. I'll just pull open the window so you can see the MIDI as we go along, and then we'll dig into some of the patches. So just in looking at the beginning, we have a couple things going on. We have these legato violins and flutes just with a drone. Right, so sort of just textural, and then we have the staccato strings. The OE2 patch is with a wind with it. So that sort of creates that opening vibe, right? And then we're moving into the bells aspect. So having like a vibraphone, a celesta, and a glockenspiel, combining those together to me really added sort of a bit of depth, because one of them just by themselves, it sounds fine, right? I mean, it's a vibraphone. And then adding in those tubular bells, right? So you can see all those but the vibraphone are from OE1, super usable sounds. And it's sort of in this one, I'm recording this around the holiday times, and so I wanted something that felt sort of seasonal. The interface of these libraries is the same, which is kind of nice from a workflow perspective. You have, your main effect. Some libraries you can do an octave, so you play one note, it gives you the octave above as well. You've got EQ, You've got effects, very handy and useful to have those built in. And then just a seating tab, which will show you what part of the orchestra your patch is loaded up, what different elements. So yeah, let's go ahead and just dig into some of those percussive things. This is what these libraries are doing, is combining samples from some of the Symphobia series, some of the True Strike patches, and so they're highly usable. I mean, they're from those bigger libraries, so they sound great, and you have enough diversity that you can kind of get what you need done. You don't have to have the entire True Strike library to get some of these sounds that you need. So let's just open this one patch right here. And you can see we've got a few things going on, right? This is cinematic percussive effects. So you can see there's just basically all the stuff you kind of need. Hits, rolls. So what we have going on, just a nice roll leading into a little triangle, some metals, and then a swell, right? So looking at that as it just comes in, and then adding in an extra bowed cymbal from OE2, right? Adding in some big drums and cymbal hits. So another crescendo, the downbeat of that, and then just having timpani hit with some rolls in there, right? Just a nice big timpani hit. So again, I keep saying this, but highly usable. Sounds really good. I'm impressed by it. The other thing that we look at is just when we come into the small violin and viola patch, the woodwind staccato. You notice I have the same MIDI data running through these, and just to thicken it out. And then the patch above having a full orchestra mirroring that. So all these patches, even when they're grouped together, the full orchestral very clean, tight, kind of what you want a library to be, right? Highly usable, sounds good. So it gets, for my vote of confidence in that regard, I think that you can't go wrong with these libraries. Okay, so I hope that this has been helpful to you. Take a look at ProjectSAM's website. Again, I think these libraries do sound best when they're included together. You can get them both together for under like $400, right? Which is pretty great, because oftentimes just a single all-in-one library, like say Spitfire, their Albion series, costs that much. So highly usable. I recommend them. I think that you can get up and started with this. If you haven't watched my video about ProjectSAM's The Free Orchestra, check that out, because you combine that with this, and you really can do quite a lot. So if you've never dug into ProjectSAM libraries, this is a great place to start. You go ahead and get up and running, building out cues, and dig in and find the inspiration. All right, and if you do want more training, if you want to learn how to create scores and cues to picture to increase their emotional impact, I think you'd get a lot out of my course, Writing to Picture. You will find a link where you can join that course below, find out more information about it. I would love to help you further in your musical scoring journey. All right, take care and have a great rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this one. Bye-bye.